How good is Ruben Amorim actually?
6 months ago, in my first 3 games in charge, with 2 victories and 1 draw, I said to you, the storm is coming. Today, after this disaster season, I want to tell you the good days are coming.
That's the question we all need to ask, because beneath the noise, the pressure and the headlines, there's a story of a manager who's quietly building something extraordinary. A coach who doesn't just win, he transforms. Before arriving at Manchester United, Amorim was a serial winner at Sporting CP, one of Portugal's most demanding clubs. A place where winning isn't optional, it's expected. And yet, he didn't just meet expectations, he shattered them. In 231 matches, his Sporting side achieved 165 wins, 33 draws, and just 33 losses. A staggering 71.4% win rate numbers that place him among the top 3 managers in the club's entire history. Under Amorim, Sporting became a modern machine, 515 goals scored, only 202 conceded, and 4 major trophies lifted, 2 Primera Ligas and 2 Taças de Liga. But it wasn't just the silverware, it was the way they won. Fluid, vertical football, pressing with intent, defending with courage. He turned a team that had spent decades in Benfica and Porto's shadow into the most tactically sophisticated squad in Portugal. And when United came calling, Amorim didn't come alone. He brought with him the structure of his success, a trusted circle of coaches who helped shape Sporting's golden era. Carlos Fernandes as his right hand, Jorge Vital refining the goalkeepers, Adelio Candido and Emmanuel Ferro orchestrating the sessions, and Paulo Barreira ensuring the players could execute the intensity Amorim demands. He's not a man of slogans, he's a man of systems, details and accountability. The contrast between Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim perfectly captures the evolution of Manchester United from rigid control to creative reconstruction. Under Ten Hag, Old Trafford was ruled by structure. The Dutchman dictated everything, from the length of the grass to aid faster passing to the layout of the stadium's facilities. He wanted precision, control and order. But with that control came responsibility. When the performances turned unacceptable, there was nowhere left to hide. After just over 2 years and 4 months in charge, Ten Hag's reign ended in collapse, 4 wins in 13 games, 14th place in the Premier League, and a dressing room divided.
I was very disappointing for the communicator of Manchester United, to be honest. I never had a problem with any club, with any coach, and they suspend me 3 days, which is I felt a lot, and it was a shame.
Was it humiliating for you?
I think so, yes. I have to say the truth, what I felt.
His conflicts with Cristiano Ronaldo and Jadon Sancho symbolised the growing fracture inside the club. At first, the board sympathised with his challenges, but as results worsened, they realised the problem wasn't just the players, it was the manager. He clung to his job after a shock FA Cup final win over Manchester City.
Again here, Bruno for Mainu for 2-0.
But even that couldn't mask the signs of decline. United's 8th place finish was their worst in 31 years. And when the new season started disastrously, his fate was sealed. It wasn't just the results, it was the system itself. Under Ten Hag, United's football lost all direction. The tactics became predictable, the press disjointed, and the dressing room fractured. Even the signings expensive, high-profile arrivals failed to shine because the system offered no structure to support them. Players were signed for short-term fixes, not long-term balance. By the time he left, United had spent hundreds of millions, only to look weaker, slower, and mentally exhausted.
In this first 9 games in the Premier League, I mean, there's no part of it that you can hang your hat on. You know, the changing of the systems, the changing of the team, the changing of the back four, the attacking stats are appalling, the defensive structure is poor, the football is got no identity or style. So there was nothing really that you could sort of, if you say, you know, the results are obviously bad. So I can see why they've done it, but it definitely won't have been where they wanted to be. I mean, this is not what they expected when they kept Ten Hag and invested in him in the summer.
Then came Ruben Amorim, a manager who inherited a broken squad halfway through the season, in the middle of complete chaos. His first months in charge were brutal, ending with United in 15th place, sealing the worst campaign in the club's history. Many thought he'd follow Ten Hag's path to failure. The team looked lifeless. A 3-1 loss to Brentford. A humiliating defeat to Manchester City.
Zone half, chance to make it 3, chance to make...
And an early Carabao Cup exit to Grimsby Town.
Penalty area, real opportunity here. It's 1-0
But everything changed with one match, the 2-0 victory over Sunderland. It wasn't the scoreline that mattered, it was the feeling. For the first time, United looked alive. Amorim began implementing a clear identity and a system designed to elevate his new signings, and that changed everything. Bryan Mbeumo's explosiveness, Benjamin Šeško's lethal finishing, Amad Diallo's creativity, and Matheus Cunha's relentless intensity finally made sense within a tactical framework that enhanced their strengths instead of suffocating them. These weren't random transfers, they were pieces of a cohesive plan. Amorim built a side that thrives on transitions, movement, and intelligent pressing. Mbeumo became a weapon in open space, Šeško a focal point capable of holding the line and attacking channels, Diallo the unpredictable link between midfield and attack, and Cunha the perfect hybrid of grit and flair. And what followed was a transformation few saw coming. United shocked the league by beating Liverpool, 2-1 the reigning champions, with a late Harry Maguire header. Since that night, Amorim's men have refused to lose. 4-2 versus Brighton, 2-2 versus Nottingham Forest, 2-2 versus Tottenham, with a stoppage time equaliser. The difference is visible. The team now fights, runs, believes. Amorim hasn't just improved individuals, he's rebuilt the collective. United now play with conviction, rhythm, and purpose. For the first time in years, every player looks like they belong in the system. Under him, United have rediscovered something deeper than form or results and identity. Amorim didn't just inherit Manchester United, he's reprogramming it from the ground up. Before diving back into his current era at Manchester United, it's worth understanding how Ruben Amorim became one of Europe's most respected tactical minds. After retiring in 2017, Amorim wasted no time. He earned his coaching licence from the Lisbon Football Association and completed a postgraduate degree in high-performance football coaching at the Faculty of Human Kinetics, where he refined his understanding of communication and body language, especially in high-pressure environments. His managerial career began humbly in Casa Pia in July 2018. After a difficult start, he made a bold decision, switching to a three-man defence, a tactical structure that would later become his trademark. But controversy struck when Casa Pia were docked 6 points because Amorim didn't yet have the proper UEFA coaching licence, forcing him to resign in January 2019. That setback didn't slow him down. In September 2019, he joined Braga B, and within months, his impact was undeniable. By December, he was promoted to manage the first team, replacing Ricardo Sá Pinto. His results were instant and spectacular: 10 wins in 13 matches, a Portuguese League Cup victory over Porto, and Braga's first away win over Benfica in 65 years.
Marcelo Goiano anotara el gol.
Those 3 months changed everything. Sporting CP, impressed by his tactical discipline and ability to extract the best from young players, paid a €10 million release clause, the third highest ever paid for a manager, to bring him in during March 2020. On the advice of sporting director Hugo Viana, who recognised Amorim's rare potential. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Amorim guided Sporting to their first league title in 19 years in the 2020/21 season, building a team defined by balance, intensity and clarity. He won the Primeira Liga twice, the Taça da Liga twice, and led Sporting to the Champions League round of 16 for the first time in 13 years. His final season in Portugal was nothing short of dominant, 11 consecutive wins, capped by a stunning 4-1 victory over Manchester City in the Champions League, a performance that made headlines across Europe.
Through on goal again, and this time.
By the time he left Lisbon, Amorim wasn't just another promising coach. He was a fully formed architect of modern football, ready to take on one of the most challenging jobs in the world, Manchester United. November 11th marks a year since Ruben Amorim landed in England and walked into Carrington for his first day as Manchester United head coach, the day that quietly began the biggest cultural reset the club has experienced in over a decade. It's been a year of turbulence, rebuilding and adaptation, a stretch defined by both frustration and flashes of genuine progress. Amorim didn't inherit a stable empire, he inherited a storm. The atmosphere he walked into was fractured, tense and heavy, with the remnants of a divided dressing room and a club still haunted by years of confusion and inconsistency. To understand the weight of that moment, we have to go back a little further to the final days of Ten Hag, when everything started to fall apart. After a disastrous defensive collapse that saw United blow a 2-0 lead and barely rescue a draw against Porto thanks to a last-minute Harry Maguire header, Ten Hag had reached his limit.
United's corner.
Inside the Estadio do Dragão dressing room, he unleashed an intense tirade at his players, furious about the lack of focus, discipline, and fight. It was the second time in 2 seasons that this kind of confrontation had taken place. The first came after a 2-0 defeat to Newcastle back in 2023, when Bruno Fernandes and Lisandro Martinez led a player-only meeting demanding accountability. That time, it worked.
Chips it to the far post, Saint-Maximin!
United bounced back, won their next 3 matches, and sealed Champions League qualification. But in Porto, things felt different. The frustration ran deeper, the disconnect sharper. According to those present, several players challenged Ten Hag's tone, arguing that constant criticism wasn't the solution. Diogo Dalot, usually one of the quieter figures, stood up and delivered a passionate speech of his own, reminding his teammates that regardless of how they felt about the manager, they still had a responsibility to the shirt. That kind of internal division between players defending pride and those losing belief painted the perfect picture of a club on the edge of implosion. When Amorim arrived, some thought his softer spoken nature and poetic language, the same qualities that earned him the nickname O Poeta from Cristiano Ronaldo, would mean a lighter touch. They couldn't have been more wrong. Amorim might speak with elegance, but behind closed doors, his standards are brutal. He demands total commitment, not just performances, but effort, discipline, and belief in the collective. One of the first examples came during his end-of-season meeting at Carrington, following United's Europa League final defeat to Tottenham.
To Papsar, he swings across in, near post, oh, it's gone in, has it?
The session, meant to be a reflection, turned into a statement of intent. Amorim went through player by player, dissecting their performances and mentalities. He told Alejandro Garnacho he'd better find a good agent, because Amorim wasn't going anywhere.
Obviously you're very close with Alejandro. Are you hopeful that he could end up staying at the club, or do you not know?
Alejandro is a really good player.
He directly called out Manuel Ugarte, a player he had once trusted at Sporting CP, for what he saw as complacency, saying, bluntly, that he no longer recognised the same fighter he once coached. It shocked the dressing room. Some were uncomfortable, others respected it. But the message was clear. Amorim was not here to make friends, he was here to raise standards. The moment drew inevitable comparisons to Sir Alex Ferguson, who used similar psychological tactics, often criticising stars like Ryan Giggs in front of everyone. Not to humiliate them, but to deliver a message to others, like Nani or Anderson, who needed the lesson more. Amorim understood the same principle. Control the room, control the culture. Bruno Fernandes is one of the few players who gets one-on-one time with Amorim, though it's usually the captain who seeks him out.
He can be a really difficult person when he has to be, and he can be a great guy and joke about and go around and have some jokes with everyone in the moments he thinks and he feels he has to do it.
Their relationship is built on mutual respect. Fernandes remains the de facto lieutenant of the squad, just as he was under Ten Hag, acting as the bridge between the dressing room and the coach. Amorim, however, keeps his distance. He doesn't join players in social settings, a conscious choice to maintain authority and professionalism. From the start, he made it clear that discipline and standards would define his Manchester United. In the all-staff meeting that opened the new season at Carrington, Amorim addressed everyone about the need for commitment, using examples of players going out late or arriving late to training as behaviour that could no longer be tolerated. His directness and passion have earned him respect within the club, especially through his constant presence at internal summits. It's that balance, distant yet driven, that's quietly reshaping the culture at Manchester United.
I spoke to Nani actually the other day and he said, Rio, whatever you want to talk about, tactics or whatever, the players play for him, they love him and they respect him. One of the issues I think with Erik Ten Hag, and what he said about Amorim, he said that Nani said he's very straight and very direct. From what I'm hearing, I'm talking to people that have played for, but also been around as a human. I think the character and the charisma compared to Erik Ten Hag will be the big differentiator, will be the big difference.
In the transfer market, Amorim's vision started to take shape. The arrivals of Brian Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha, 2 proven Premier League players with energy, discipline, and a genuine love for the game, immediately lifted the intensity at Carrington. Add to that the crucial signing of a reliable goalkeeper like Senne Lammens, and the tone of United's rebuild began to change. To restore order inside the dressing room, Amorim created a 6-man leadership group made up of Fernandes, Maguire, Tom Heaton, Lisandro Martinez, Mazraoui, and Dalot, a move designed to distribute responsibility and build a culture of accountability from within. At the core of his project lies his signature 3-4-2-1 formation, the same structure that brought him success in Portugal. United hired Amorim fully aware of his tactical convictions, and while the adaptation has taken time, the foundations are now visible.
We are getting better. That is, I think,
everyone can see. We are getting better, we are getting that feeling. If we cannot win, at least we are not going to lose.
Though he has occasionally experimented with a 4-3-3 in training to teach specific game phases, he's made it clear not even the Pope could convince him to abandon his back three.
No, he was there. Jim was here also. Yeah. No, it was a joke. And you like it, guys, so don't complain, you love it that, and let's try to win the next one. I will give you another one next season.
That faith is starting to pay off. In recent weeks, United's attack has begun to show flashes of the football Amorim envisions: dynamic, vertical and unpredictable, especially through the electrifying connection between Mbeumo and Amad Diallo down the right wing. It's the first real glimpse of the system working as intended, and the first sign that Manchester United may finally be finding their rhythm under Ruben Amorim. Those who know Ruben Amorim best understand how much he values communication and shared responsibility. He believes his team speaks the same language, not just in tactics, but in mentality. That's why, when he was named Premier League Manager of the Month for October, he made sure the entire coaching staff appeared in the official photograph beside him. For Amorim, success is always collective. That belief surfaced after the shock defeat to Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup. When asked about the loss, Amorim simply said his players had spoken really loud. He added,
You can feel it that something has to change, and you are not going to change 22 players again.
It was his way of saying the responsibility was shared, not shifted. The accusation that United had taken their opponent lightly stung, but it also reignited the standards he demands. The following 3-0 loss to Manchester City deepened the tension.
The way you set up your team is just not working. It's not creating enough wins, and people are finding it easy to play against you.
Find it easy to play against, guys. You have I understand that, and I accept. So it's not a record that you should have in Manchester United. There are a lot of things that you have no idea what happened during these months, but I accept that. But I'm not going to change. When I want to change my philosophy, I will change. If not, you have to change the man. So, and we'll talk about that every game that we lose. I don't believe in that, in the system or whatever. I play my way, and I'm going to play my way until I want to change.
Yet the win over Chelsea soon after offered a spark of hope enough for the board to rally behind him. During the first Ineos-era football board meeting, Amorim himself attended, alongside Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox and CFO Roger Bell, facing figures like Sir Alex Ferguson and David Gill. His presence was a clear statement. He wanted to be accountable, transparent and directly connected to United's heritage. That support proved crucial. Despite Chaos Rashford's exile, Højlund's departure and a dressing room TV smashed in frustration, Amorim's leadership has quietly produced results. A year ago, United sat 14th in the table with 11 points from 9 games and a -3 goal difference. Today they stand 7th with 18 points from 11 games and a positive goal difference. The improvement may be modest, but the direction is undeniable. The culture is shifting, the football is evolving, and for the first time in years, Manchester United look like a team with a plan. One of the key reasons behind Manchester United's rise under Ruben Amorim, now sitting just 4 points behind Manchester City, has been the tactical evolution he's introduced over the past few weeks. United have begun to rely more heavily on Senne Lammens' long distribution, reducing short build-ups and cutting down the dangerous turnovers that used to plague their backline. The result? A far more compact structure. When Lammens launches a long ball, both the defensive and midfield lines push up together, closing distances between players and making United more aggressive in recovering second balls while exposing themselves less to counter-attacks. This more direct approach perfectly suits United's pacey forwards, allowing Amorim's side to attack space quickly and with intent. It's also improved their defensive organisation, especially against teams that press high like Liverpool and Brighton, where the first goal at Anfield served as the perfect example of how the system works when executed properly. However, when facing deep-lying opponents, the system loses some of its sting. With little room to exploit behind the defence, United are forced to play patiently, which limits their counter-attacking threat, and often turns the match into a battle of attrition. Out of possession, Amorim has fine-tuned his pressing structure. His earlier 5-2-3 shape often left large gaps between midfield and attack, but by shifting Luke Shaw into midfield during the press, the shape transforms into a 4-3-3, a tactical tweak that was decisive in 2 of United's 4 goals against Brighton. When defending deep, Amorim's side now falls back into a 5-4-1 block, offering stronger coverage across the pitch. Yet, this comes with its own flaws. The team still allows opponents too much time on the ball in front of the defence, and their weakness at defending crosses, particularly at the back post, remains an issue. For Amorim, the challenge is finding the right balance. A direct, compact United can score more and stay dangerous, but it also means spending long spells defending their box. If the team can become more proactive in that 5-4-1 shape pressing earlier and closing down wide deliveries, they could maintain their attacking edge while conceding fewer goals. Alternatively, they could aim to dominate possession against low blocks, using control rather than chaos to win games. But doing so would require consistency in breaking down compact defences, something Amorim's United still need to master if they truly want to become title contenders. One of the most defining aspects of Ruben Amorim's Manchester United has been how he's managed to find his leaders the spine that has transformed the club from a broken side into a serious, disciplined team with purpose. At the heart of it all stands Senna Lammens, arguably the best shot stopper in Europe this season. Since taking over the #1 spot, United haven't lost a single game. His reflexes have been crucial, from that iconic 1-versus-1 save against Alexander Isak to the point-saving stop versus Tottenham.
It's a good ball, it's a good flick, it's a fantastic save from Lammens to deny Romero. It's brilliant ball.
Lammens doesn't just protect the goal, he radiates calm and confidence across the entire backline. In front of him, Matthijs de Ligt has become the defensive general Amorim always wanted. The Dutchman leads the Premier League in interceptions, and, alongside Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro, has formed a rock-solid partnership. Both de Ligt and Maguire have even delivered decisive late headers, proof that their leadership extends far beyond defending. Then there's Bruno Fernandes, the ultimate clutch player. Time and again, he rescues United when it matters most, last-minute assists against Tottenham and Liverpool, ice-cold penalties under pressure, and thunderous goals that shift momentum. Still the best playmaker in the Premier League, Bruno remains the emotional and tactical heartbeat of Amorim's project. Further up, Bryan Mbeumo has been the signing of the season. He's involved in almost every goal, scoring, assisting, and constantly creating danger. With 6 goals and an assist already, Mbeumo has become United's sharpest weapon, forming a devastating partnership with Amad Diallo on the right.
He tries to turn it home, comes out to Ahmad. Ahmad fires home! Oh, it's a screamer from the Ivorian! Thumps it in left-footed on the volley from the edge of the D! That's a piece of magic!
Amorim has unlocked Diallo's full potential. His dribbling, pace, and long-range strikes now embody what it means to be a Red Devil. And finally, Matheus Cunha, Amorim's tireless soldier. He covers every blade of grass, wins every second ball, and adds relentless vertical energy. He's as dangerous inside the box as he is invaluable defensively, often rescuing possession with his intensity. Together, this core of leaders, Lammens, de Ligt, Bruno, Mbeumo, Diallo, and Cunha, represents the foundation of Amorim's Manchester United. Their tactical discipline and emotional resilience have set the tone for a new era. In just his first full year, Ruben Amorim has achieved what none of his 9 predecessors could, restoring belief, direction, and identity to Old Trafford. The climb back to the top has only just begun, but for the first time in a decade, it finally feels within reach.